Greetings, all you samurai in the land of Wano. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din coming at you with another One Piece chapter review. This time it's chapter 942, titled Yasuie Shimotsuki, Daimyo of Hakumai. And if the name Shimotsuki sounds familiar, that's because that is the name of Zoro's village, where his master taught Zoro the way of the sword. So it just continues to grow the relation between Wano and Zoro further and further. Now, whether or not that's just a connection between Zoro's master and Wano or Zoro himself is yet to be seen. But we get a flashback of when Yasuie was the daimyo of the land. He was respected and he was seen as a good person who patrolled the harbors with an iron fist to make sure that no outsiders were to try to conquer the land. And he was shown to be good friends with Odin, as Odin had all but given up on preceding his father as shogun in any capacity. He had just kind of resigned himself to forever being banished. But Yasuie was having none of that. He wanted Odin to succeed Sukiyaki no matter what. He felt that it was Odin's duty as a child of the Kotsuki clan in order to do this thing. And it shows just how dedicated Yasuie was to the Kozuki clan, no matter what, first and foremost. We then cut back to the present, where we see that the townspeople, who just love Yasuie for the most part, no matter how strict he was beloved by the people. And many who were born in Hakumai even shout out to him, being glad that he was still alive after all this time. However, the crimes he committed are read off, that he was caught committing robbery within the capital, and that he has fallen so low. Yasuie Shimotsuki has fallen into the life of a petty thief. In the past, it was said that he led a great rebellion against Orochi with the other daimyos, and that he will be sentenced to execution for this. So it shows that the people of Wano did not simply roll over to Orochi. They fought back, and the sad thing is, they lost. He has also come to be known as the Witching Hour Boy, apparently. Although Yasuie says that it was a lie, and he thought that since he knew he was going to die anyway, he thought he'd get a bit of fame. So he's pinning the whole Witching Hour Boy incident all on himself, and that becomes his thing here. He starts just taking in all of the blame and just misdirecting several instances all on himself, basically using the last of moments of his life to just redirect a lot of people's attention away from the true rebellion still happening. With even the guards going on to say that the crimes were a bit odd. So he's creating even more of an air of doubt in people's mind than there already was, because it's already been established that people don't quite trust Orochi in how he thinks and how he perceives things. But with this, it becomes clear that what Yasuie's goal here is to completely discredit Orochi to the nth degree. With people even questioning why he would steal, because they just trust him that much. And it's even commented on the fact that it seems that Komorosaki's funeral has turned into Yasuie's funeral. X-Drake and Hawkins soon receive information that the people of Ebisu have made their way into the flower capital, showing just how much of a big shot Yasuie is. with the people of Ebisu just running through the streets of Wano, disregarding anyone who would try to fight them off because, they're poor, they don't belong there. And the people are just running through the streets, smiling and laughing the whole time, but they're saying such sorrowful words like, "You can't die on us, Yasuie. You will support us if you don't. How will we, manage to live through?" And even Tama runs through the snow towards the capital to see her father. But Yasuie starts to deliver a little bit of a speech, so, understanding that Orochi wants to make an example of him with this execution. But Yasuie then goes on to say that the shogun is an utter fool, and he actually feels sympathy towards the shogun's, men, just demeaning them at every turn. And then he goes on to say how beautiful Wano country is. So the people are endearing themselves to them. Because, that's the thing. A man's dying words, someone's dying words have the most level of believability, especially when they know they're going to die. That's when you truly get a true answer from someone. And apparently that's even admissible in court as a testimony. When you know you are about to die and you give a testimony, if it be on camera or whatever, that's binding right there. But as Yasuie continues to just completely berate and demean Orochi is racing towards the capital, just cursing Yasuie's name. And Yasuie just continues to say that they're nothing but pests. He even goes on to apologize for the picture puzzle that he says he made. He used it in order to just kind of, mess with Orochi. And he said he made it up. The Kosugi have been dead for 20 years. There's no forces to carry out the revenge. It's just a little thing that I did as a prank. So he's just covering for the army, and he's just redirecting everyone's thoughts to just continue to demean everything that Orochi has managed to do up until this point. He even goes on to say that Odin, 20 years ago, asked the remaining Daimyo if they would would serve the Kurozumi name or fight with them. But, to the Daimyo, it was a laughable situation because all of them were indebted to Odin. That's how much sway Odin had. Odin, who still, to this moment, is just as shrouded in that silhouette as Ryugaku, Green Bull, So that just shows how much of an important factor. I'm really wondering, what does Odin look like at this point? As they really built him up. And we even catch back up with Inuarashi and Kinemon actually meeting up with Shutenmaru for the most part, as they all arrived at Hold'em's place. And they realize, oh, that's Lord Yasuie. Oh my god, they could barely even recognize him because he's so bloody and beaten down. But, Yasuie then goes on to say, with the Monster Kaido, revenge was basically impossible. So he ended up hiding away in Ebisu in disgrace. He did try to take up arms, but Kaido was just that strong that he just helped to dominate an entire country. And so he plotted and he planned and he said he did these childish things just to get this attention. And because of Orochi's cowardice, he panicked and threw everyone with a moon-shaped tattoo in jail, even though it was just a passing fad. And even the guards start to immediately just consider it. It's just like, oh man, we just arrested a whole bunch of innocent people. Again, just undermining all of Orochi's accomplishments. Whatever truth Orochi had is immediately just brought into question because of Yasuie's dying words. And Orochi is just getting more and more pissed to the point where he's just riding on his palanquin, and as he get closer, he's just locking and unloading his gun, ready to just start blowing holes in Yasuie. He's just that angry. And as soon as Yasuie sees Orochi, he's just like, and you know what? Allow me to compose a little something for your heart's content, a little curse of my own, since you're so believing. A man of small measure will never be more than the Odin he cannot stomach. It's just like, he's throwing shade. It's like, yo, Odin, Orochi, you whack. Orochi, your teeth, whack. Your haircut, whack. Your Zoan form, whack. Me, I'm tight as fuck, because I followed Odin, bitch. And all across the country, his final thoughts, we see as he's thinking all these things, we see Big Mom and the rest are slowly making their approach to the prison. But Yasue's just like, he knows that Kinemon and the Nine Red Chiefs, as well as the future Shogun Momosuke, are all safe, that their plans are now crystal clear without any hindrance. No one will question the people who were brought into the jail, because, on the off chance they'd end up looking as foolish as Orochi does at this very moment. We even see that Yasuie provided the rebel forces with a new rendezvous point. Yasuie has done so much, and Kinemon, realizing this, starts to break down into tears just because of everything he's done. Even the people in the jail cell are just crying. And he realizes that his plan has come into fruition. Yasuie has managed to undermine all of Orochi's, faith. Any small glimmer of faith that Orochi's men had in him is pretty much decimated now. Just because now they just believe that the Shogun is just a coward. Just an utter coward. A disappointment. And not built to rule. And as Otoko, finally manages to make her way to Yasuie, Yasuie gives a final call to cover the eyes of the children, and so they don't have to see the end of the last of the Daimyos, of the Kazuki Daimyos, who died as nothing but a foolish gesture, he said. But in his mind, he still thinks, go to Onigashima and avenge our dear Shogun. And he ends up as soon as he notices that Otoko had actually managed to make her way to Ebisu, all he can think is, I'm sorry, Otoko, for leaving you behind. And that's the one that broke me, and as soon as he starts being shot, because they just unload on him, it took me off guard. I was not ready for him to just die like this, because he's dead. He is dead. And as all the people of Ebisu finally make their way there, they're only in time to just see his lifeless body, riddled with bullets, falling to the ground. Yasuie is dead. The people of Ebisu can do nothing but laugh. They're just crying, sobbing, and laughing. And Zoro, who has made his way there, is just angry because he didn't realize that Yasuie was the one being executed. And having seen this, he's just like, why are you laughing? What's so funny? And, Zoro is like pissed in ways that I've never actually seen him pissed. But even Otoko is just laughing, as if it's the only thing she can do. And when, Zoro starts to just completely lose his cool, in comes Hiyori saying that, the smiles of the people of Ebisu is the only thing they're able to show. They're not able to show their sadness or their pain because it was stolen from them. Their sadness was stolen from them by the fruits called smile, from Kaido and Orochi's fruits. How that plays in is very much unknown to me. Whether this is a metaphorical thing or is in truth is the real honest to God truth that somehow the smile fruit had some kind of hand to play in why these people can do nothing but smile, because when Caesar was concocting these things it was known as sad beforehand, so maybe there's some kind of connection there, but it's beyond me at this point. I can't fathom how the connection is made. It's not helped by the fact that we're on hiatus for this week, for the next chapter, but it boggles the mind how it comes into play. How do these chemicals mix together? Is it because the people drank the water? And how much of the water did they have to drink to get to the point where all they can do is smile? Really makes me wonder, how was it integrated? What did Caesar do? What did Caesar do? Man, once again, it all comes back to Punk Hazard. Like, we just keep going back to the very first place we went to in the New World, and we have this chain of events that just run up to either Big Mom or Kaido himself. And it's just very fascinating in general. But my real thing is the fact that Yasuie is dead. Like, that's it. The way he fell, the way we saw him shot, I kept thinking that they were going to make it in time and they were going to save Yasuie, but no, I don't think he made it out of this. And that's the thing that gets me, because, with Pedro's death, there was so much lingering thought of, did Pedro make it out? I think he might have survived it. A lot of people just in disbelief up until the arc finally ended, where they're just like, man, Pedro's actually dead because of the whole Pell situation, how he survived that explosion. And it's just like, and so Pedro must have survived. Nope. Pedro's dead. And it's just like with Yasuie, it's just like, I feel like this is Oda's response to that as well, where he's just like, there you go. You see the body? It's riddled with bullets. See him bleeding out? He dead. That's it. That's the end. Done. Finito. And, that's brutal. That's really, really brutal. Oh, man, it really took me off guard. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about everything that Yasuie said? Because I felt like I needed to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, because he stated so many things. It was just nothing but exposition this entire chapter. The life and times of Yasuie, whose life was coming to an end. It was really intense, really interesting, and I'm just interested to see what the repercussions of this, especially considering that Odin actually thought that Yasuie was worth becoming the next shogun of Wano. Not to mention, why is Shimotsuki, that's the name of, Zoro's old, hangout, where he was taught, where he learned everything. What connection is there? Is there a connection to Zoro himself? Is it, because we still have no clue where Zoro came from or what he's all about. And what about Kyoshiro? Where did he come from? Is he truly from Wano? Are we going to have something come into play with him later down the line? Is he even going to be mentioned? It feels like Wano is just starting to get revved up and starting to really get underway, to the point where it's just so many questions just keep being raised. And what does Hiyori mean? How did the smile fruit make it so that the people of Ebisu can only smile? What is the connection there? And then there's the thought that, was Yasuie just covering up for the true witching hour boy? who was really stealing everything, because it feels too simple. We know that Yasuie was just casting all the blame onto himself and redirecting a lot of things. So I feel that that was just another lie in his cap to just redirect what people were thinking. But again, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. If you liked this video, feel free to give me a like. If you didn't, because I ran a little long, I kept going all over the place in this video, so I'll understand. Feel free to give me a dislike and tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below so I might better myself for future videos. And how about subscribing and hitting the bell icon? That way you never miss another One Piece chapter review. And how about following me on social media? If you want to, just Google Duuz-Diz-Din. I am everywhere, for better or for worse. And until the next video, just remember, even through the bad times, keep a smile on your face. Almost like you had the will of D or something. Interesting. Bye-bye.